Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show, Daily Dose in the cricket world. It would normally be World Cup daily, but there's that much happening in the cricket world. We're flipping back to being cricket daily again today, but plenty of World Cup focus do not concern. Absolute chaos in Palakelli as Pakistan win by 5, but still miss out on the semi-finals. Sri Lanka go down swinging, and then a post-game bomb from Sanath Jayasuria. Plus, the PSL lands a record broadcast deal. We look ahead to two big clashes, including a quasi-quarter final in the World Cup, plus some women's cricket action and some more news. There's so much to break down. Let's talk about all of your cricket doses. But, of course, the best way to start the date with those cricket doses is to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and we'd love it if you also got involved in the comments. And you can follow us along on our social media channels at The Chris Mack Show on your favourite social media platforms to stay up to date with all your sports shorts. But let's start in Palakelli with Sri Lanka and Pakistan. And there was plenty of runs on offer as Pakistan's 212 for 8 beat Sri Lanka's 207 for 6 by a margin of just 5 runs, meaning Pakistan are eliminated from the T20 World Cup and New Zealand sneak their way through into the semi-finals. So let's set the scene. Pakistan needed a huge net run rate win. They would have needed to win by about 65 runs. So even 212 was going to be tough to be enough, as Sri Lanka showed, and certainly got a much closer than that. Pakistan's selection swings paid off up top as they got flying, with Sabazada Farhan smashing 100, his second ton of the tournament, and Fakhar Zaman went berserk with 84 of 42. They opened together and put on 176 unbeaten in 15.4 overs before the partnership was split. And it's the highest partnership for any wicket in T20 World Cup history. And that was one record that fell. Another record that fell was Farhan finishing the tournament on 383 runs, breaking Virat Kohli's T20 World Cup record of 319 from 2014. But Pakistan botched that wonderful launch pad they set late. Their last 4 overs, 35 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. What looked like it could have been 230 or more turned into just 212, and just maybe it might have been a slightly different story had they gone north of 230. Dilshan Madashankar led the damage for Sri Lanka, taking 3 for 33. Sri Lanka's chase, well, it basically had 2 phases. There was some early dents as Naseem Shah struck early. Abrar Ahmed ripped some key wickets and finished with 3 for 23. The only bowler to go for less than 8 and over across the whole match. And then the counterpunch. Pavan Rathnayake, he came through with 58 to drag the chase forward before captain Dasun Shanaka went full action hero. 76 not out of 31 deliveries and just nearly snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. The finish was pure madness before an anti-climax. The final over, Sri Lanka needed 28 of Shaheen Shah Afridi. Dasun Shanaka goes 4-6-6-6. And all of a sudden they needed just 6 off 2. Dot ball. Then last ball left alone, expecting a wide. Not given. Pakistan win, but Pakistan still out of the tournament. The big takeaway from this one is Pakistan proved they can go ultra-aggressive after they dropped Babar Azam, Saeem Ayub and Salman Mirza, but their death over collapse with the bat cost them the chance to truly build a net run rate boosting total, leaving them shy of New Zealand and meaning they finished 3rd in this Super 8 pool. Well, that turns us on to some news that dropped immediately after this match, and it was Sanath Jayasuria saying that he's going to step down as Sri Lanka's men's head coach. And it sounds like this was the first Sri Lankan cricket were told of it. His deal was meant to run through until June this year, and there's a chance he may still oversee the Afghanistan white ball series that starts in only a couple of weeks on March 13th in Sharjah. His tenure certainly had some early highs, including that landmark ODI series win versus India, but the last stretch ends with the home World Cup exit and mounting pressure. He's a man who's held so many roles in Sri Lankan cricket. He's been the captain, he's been a selector in 2 different stints, and now the head coach. I'm sure that Sanath Jayasuria will still be around the broader spectre of Sri Lankan cricket for years to come. Speaking of news, we flip to another country in the subcontinent and we talk Pakistan. The PSL and the Pakistan Super League has signed its biggest ever broadcast deal. Wiley Technologies has signed a 4-year deal worth approximately US $93 million. The league expansion certainly helps this narrative. 44 games now, which is up from 34 with 8 teams. but even per game, the value jumps significantly, about 21% per game on revenue. PSL will get underway from March 26 with the final to be played on May the 3rd. Now it's time to flip to some previews, and let's start with some women's cricket. Let's start with Australia up against India, the third one-day international in Hobart. Australia are up 2-0 and lead the multi-format series 6-4 on points. It is a chance for the Aussies to sweep the one-day internationals. Injury shuffles are expected to continue with teen quick Lucy Hamilton in the frame for an ODI debut as Australia try and manage the workloads ahead of the series closing Perth test. Georgia Wareham also a chance to come into the team, especially if the used surface looks to be grippy. Australia may manage Darcy Brown ahead of the day-night test. That's where you'd expect Hamilton to come in. While India, their focus will be composure, fewer soft dismissals, better consolidation and execution in the field. While we're on the women's game, let's talk South Africa against Pakistan, the third one-day international. South Africa lead 2-0, but Pakistan have certainly shown some serious fight in this series, especially after that massive chase attempt in Game 2. The players to watch for mine, Fatima Sana has been Pakistan's standout with the bat, while Laura Woolvart remains the Proteas glue up the top of their order. Kingsmead can offer some seam early. It'll certainly have the classic green mamba vibe, so look for the pace bowlers to strike and go well in the early overs. We now flip back to the T20 World Cup, and we've got some big games to unpack and look ahead to here as we talk Zimbabwe and South Africa. Well, South Africa are the only unbeaten team left in this World Cup, but they may rotate their squad with some semi-finals looming. The history of this head-to-head is brutal if you're a Zimbabwean. Only 2 wins in 58 completed international matches against their African rivals. The last win, you have to look all the way back to the year 2000. The matchups here, Corbin Bosch, well, he's been elite at the death for South Africa. His Yorkers have been phenomenal. His control has been absolutely unparalleled. Brad Evans has the slower balls, but India's flatter pitches have blunted Zimbabwe's cutters a little bit lately, and they're looking to find some other options and other avenues towards wicket taking. Zimbabwe's issues been clear. Back-to-back 250-plus runs conceded in the Super 8s, plus a bunch of drop catches under lights. They really need to step things up and perform a little better here. The slightly earlier time slot will help them from that point of view, but still, they've been leaving it a bit short, and this is a chance to finish their tournament with a bang. As I said, look for some possible rotations from South Africa. They could rest a few and give some more minutes to some squad players that haven't played every game. Maybe Arnrik Nortje, George Linder, these sorts. Certainly some good players to have waiting in the wings. Last but not least, we talk India versus the West Indies, and my oh my, the stakes could not be any higher. This is a quasi-quarter-final. It's a semi-final qualifier. Win and you're in the box seat. Lose and you're on your way home. This is big. The home side will have lots of expectation, lots of pressure. The Windies, well, they've got the ability, but can they get the execution right? India will look for their strike bowlers, their depth and their control to be the keys for them to try and make sure they take the key 2 points here. While for the West Indies, they have 6 hitters in absolute form. They are the most boundary-heavy team in this tournament, and they know that's their superpower, that is their strength, and it's certainly where you would expect them to lean. The key battle for mine, Abhishek Sharma up against Roston Chase. India have a stack of left-handers, and Roston Chase is the one spinner who can angle it away from them with some success. Sharma, on the other hand, he looked better last game. That is fair, but he still showed some caution versus off-spin early, and he seems to have struggled getting going. So look for the West Indies to take the opportunity of that matchup early on once Sharma comes to the crease. Looking at the team news, Rinku Singh is unlikely after a family bereavement. He's expected to rejoin the squad, but probably not play, while the West Indies should be unchanged with Brandon King cleared to play. It's going to be a warm Kolkata night, no rain expected. The pitch looks dry, and it could be a proper hit versus hold contest. Can the bowlers tie them down, or will the batsmen get loose and get firing? It's going to be exciting. It's all on the line for these two sides, and we can't wait. A semi-final berth for the winner, a trip home for the loser, or the disappointment in India's case. They don't have to travel too far, but the disappointment of bombing out in a home World Cup. Well, that wraps us on another Cricket Daily. Pakistan leave with a win and a record book, but no semi-final. Sri Lanka go home as well, and now a coaching reset begins. And next up, the eyes are on South Africa. Can they remain undefeated? And who will take it out between India and the West Indies? Power versus precision, and someone's World Cup is about to end. So much to look forward to. Throw in some women's cricket as well. and there's certainly more than you can feast on. But a big thank you to you for tuning into your home of your Black and White of Sports. No great opinions here on the Chris McPherson Show. Make sure to hit like, make sure to hit subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you back on our next episode very, very soon.